Middle Northern California. Who's never been to the Hearst Castle? You should check it out. Cool place. Ziplining, Jamaica. Who's never been ziplining? Who's never been to Jamaica? Add it to your list. Sunset, Puerto Rico. Who's never been to Puerto Rico? Guys, add it to your list. Riding a dolphin. Who's never rode a dolphin before? Hey, make it happen. You only live once. This is Burning Man. This is Crazy Wild Burning Man. If you're into art and music and things like that, put it on your list. This is Bosnia Bay, top 10 beaches in the world. This is Mardi Gras. Who's never been to Mardi Gras? I don't know if you should put it on your list, to be honest with you. This is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Sugarloaf Mountain. This is Cristo in the background. How many of you guys want to go to Rio one day? Man, put that thing on your list. This is Australia, Sydney, Australia. This is a rainbow that popped up right when we walked up to the Opera House and took the picture. Guys, put it on your list. We saw the Nutcracker on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. This is Vienna, a walk in the park in Vienna. This is a bridge in Frankfurt with the love blocks. This is Stockholm, Sweden. Apparently this had so much happening that we blocked that picture out. That's what how many of you guys want to tour all over Europe by a show of hands? This is the channels in Amsterdam. This is freezing my butt off in Helsinki, Finland. Helsinki, look at the little G with her hat on right there. This is Big Ben, London, England. This is Italy, Lido Beach, Venice. The day that Italy won the World Cup about 9 years ago, or 8, 9 years ago. Talk about craziness. I was there when the final goal was scored and all of Italy exploded into a party for 3 straight days. These guys hijacked a shipping truck. They gave an Italian flag to the driver who was drinking a beer, honking the horn, waving the flag. This is a moving vehicle with about 30 or 40 crazy Italians inside it and on top of it. Mona Lisa, the Louvre. Guys, put it on your list. Duomo in Milan, the Galleria in Milan. If you've never been to Milan, put it on your list. This is the Sistine Chapel, St. Peter's Church, where the Pope is, in Rome, Italy. This is Verona. This is the largest outdoor amphitheater in the world. We saw an opera and a 2,000-year-old structure where gladiators used to fight. No microphones. No microphones. Imagine sitting outside with 5,000 other people, no microphones. This is Rome, Italy. This is at the largest private art collection in Rome. It's called the Column family. Maybe you've heard of them. The Column is named after them. Like the Column. Named after this family. We did this huge private art tour, security guards walking us from room to room. There's 8 of us, Blake and his wife, and Rich and Jason, and then we surprised them with this huge dinner with chefs and servers and a quartet band that's sitting over in the corner, and roses, and then the whole top of the ceiling was the story of Cupid painted on the top of the ceiling. Guys, you gotta create your life. You have to create your life. That was for Valentine's Day, by the way. This is obviously John Wooden, giving him the Global Leadership Award. Great guy. Any music folks out there? Any people like music? This right here is Swedish House Mafia farewell tour here in Chicago, United Center. We rented a suite for that. In fact, the guy that opened for them is the guy that DJ'd at Ashley and I's wedding. We're never allowed to say that because he does not want us to tell anyone they DJ'd at a wedding. But that's a pretty cool thing. He actually opened at this concert. This was Outside Lands, a 3-day concert. We saw Pearl Jam, Incubus, Black Eyed Peas, Dave Matthews Band, on and on and on. And we walked over to the private auction. I wrote a check for $2,000 and got a signed Pearl Jam guitar, and then the money went to charity for kids. This is the stuff you guys will do. This is Coachella. Midnight, 100 degrees, 100,000 people, 7-year reunion of the breakup of Rage Against the Machine. Guys, go to the concert. Go experience the stuff. Live your life. This is proposing to Ashley on stage in front of 2,000 crazy Vine maniacs. This is our wedding. This was 11/11/11 at 11/11/11. It happens once every 1,000 years. 11/11/11/11/11/11. At that exact moment, our whole wedding party with their clothes on jumped into the ocean at the exact same time. This was St. Mark's, Christmas Day. We had a package, a gift. We opened it up after sailing around the islands, and we found out that is indeed a girl. This is Gia, 3 days old. First eye sign, 3 days old. of job, jail, free card. Get out of job, jail, free card. I retired my mom. I did not retire my dad. Why? Because my dad was my biggest hater for a decade. And I mean the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. Who is the biggest hater you guys have right now? You know who that person is right now? Think of who it is? That's my dad. And I told him all the time, oh, guess what? I'm going to buy mom a sports car, not you. 5 years ago, Mother's Day, I said, Dad, walk outside. There's something there for Mom for Mother's Day. Big flat bed, truck pulls up, lets down a 1 Series black BMW, red interior convertible. I said, that's for Mom, not you, Dad. It's all good fun. It's all good fun. And then I did not retire my dad, not because, for a couple of years, not because I didn't want to, but because my mom was like, dude, don't you send that guy home and manage me all day long. You keep him at work. We retired my dad last year. So this is actually the retiring of my dad. We retired him last year finally. We retired my mother-in-law, Ashley's mom, a couple years ago. So we now retired 3 of our 4 parents. This is a trip to California. We took all 3 of my 4 grandparents up to California. They'd never been there before. 2 of my grandfathers fought in World War II. So we took them all the way down the Pacific Coast Highway. San Diego, Mount Soledad is a veterans memorial. I bought them each a plaque right here for Christmas. This is one grandfather. He flew 48 missions as a tail gunner in the South Pacific. This is my other grandfather who actually landed on Normandy. These are the gifts that you'll think of. This is, you'll put thought into this stuff and you'll make it meaningful and you'll make it powerful. Guys, you gotta create your life. This was given $200,000 to the local community college to create the Rooks Sarnicola Center for Entrepreneurial Studies. Here's what entrepreneurship can do for you guys. I did not even graduate community college. I dropped out of community college, and now there's one that's going to be named after us. That's what's possible, guys. That's what's possible. This is my first bachelor pad here. We still own it. It's the auditorium of a 100-year-old high school. So this is actually a stage right here. That's a stage where they would watch the plays and the band and everything else, and this is where all the kids would sit. It's 5,000 square feet. There's only 2 rules. Oh, this is a basketball court in the far left corner. 2 rules. Number 1 is you must wear shoes in the house. Why? My parents never let me wear shoes. They said, just wait until you get your own house, then you wear shoes. Well, I got my own house, and we wear shoes in this thing. Rule number 2. Always growing up, my parents said, no throwing balls in the house. So I built a basketball court on the inside. And I said, rule number 2 is, you must throw balls inside the house. That's rule number 2. This is our new condo, 6,000 square foot, 6,800 square feet, 2 floor, 4 bedroom. This right here is a infrared LED projected koi pond. So when you walk on it, it splashes and the fish sense that you're near and they swim away from you. Now the real reason we did this is there's no way Ashley and I could ever keep a fish alive, so we did a digital fish right here. This is an 18-foot water wall. There's a 20-foot living wall, which is like bushes and flowers on the inside of it, 32 stories up in the gym that we have. The shower is a steam room, jacuzzi, and then there's 8 shower heads. One of the shower heads is like 2 of those big lights right there, those square lights, put 2 of those together, and it's got LED lights and Bose music, and it's amazing. And it's all glass, 32 floors up. Just like, hello, we're here. Yes, welcome. I'm just kidding, you pull the blinds down. So, this is what you'll create. This is what you'll create. This one's my favorite. This is our house in Miami. Oh, right. At age 21, Blake was 19. We won a cruise for our company. We left on the Port of Miami. Has anyone ever left in a cruise on the Port of Miami? You look to your left and you see these islands. We sat on the edge of the balcony and looked outside. And I looked at Blake at age 21. This was 15 years ago. I said, one day I will live on that island. 2 years ago, Ash and I bought a house on Palm Island, and we wave as the people on the cruise wave back every day as the 5 cruise ships leave. Guys, you gotta create your life. You gotta know what you want it to look like 10 years from now and 15 years from now. This one's cool. When I was 19 years old, they said, write your goals down, write your goals down, write your goals down. I wrote down, I will throw my high school reunion. 9 years later, they called and said, high school reunion, you want to go? Yeah, how much? $50. No, how much for the whole thing? I wrote a check for the entire 10-year reunion and checked that goal up. Right? Cabo San Lucas, put it on your list. Cayman Islands, put it on your list. This, my friends, is when you're in Tasmania on Christmas Day. And you're driving down the street, you got some wine and some cheese and some fruit and some berries and some nuts, and you pull up to the beach, and it turns out the entire island is deserted. They are none of them on the island on Christmas Day. So what do? You look to the left, you look to the right, you get naked, you make a Tasmanian Christmas tree. What else would you do? Tasmanian Christmas tree. Monaco. Where are my car people at? Any car people out there? This is Grand Prix, Formula One Grand Prix, the back of a $50 million yacht during the long stretch of the Grand Prix. Unbelievable. One of my favorite life experiences of all time. This is Space Needle. Who's never been to the Space Needle? Go on 4th of July and eat dinner. We'll have 7 fireworks shows at the same time. This is Times Square. Who's never been there? You know what's better than going to Times Square the first time? Being on Times Square for the first time. That's what's better. Any winos? Where my winos at? Winos, Napa. Go to Napa. You gotta go to Napa every year. This is renting out the American Airlines Arena, 15,000 people, Miami, Vitality. How many of you are gonna get promoted to 5-star ambassador in front of 30,000 people one day? 40,000. Our first $1 billion sold. Give it up for that. This was a safari in Africa, Kruger National Park. Coolest life experience I've ever had. If you want to know, that's the coolest one. Write it down. This is Soho in Hong Kong. This is taking a car out of your Matchbox toys when you're a kid and putting it into your driveway. This is paddleboarding in Dubai. This is Kentucky Derby. Hey, this is, I have no idea what that is. This is my favorite dinner experience. This is Thailand. You guys remember in Hangover 2 in Bangkok where the helicopter flies over that restaurant? This is that restaurant right here in Bangkok. This is my favorite place in all of the United States for anyone that's looking for travel tips. This is Big Sur, California, Rocky Creek Bridge. I've gone here for 10 straight years. This house did not used to be there. It's only been there for the last 5. I promise you that house is on my list. I will one day have that house. This is not Las Vegas. This is the Eiffel Tower. This is Today I Beat the System. Just, you know, a Tuesday afternoon at the Eiffel Tower. This is the Colosseum in Rome. Don't just walk around the outside, pay extra, figure it out, get your way down to the floor. And walk where the gladiators walk, where they let lions loose at them and, you know, tigers and animals and just, I mean, crazy. 100,000 people in that 2,000 years ago. First time I seen a glacier. You know it's the first time I seen a glacier because my pants are tucked into my sock right there. I run out to the middle of the lake, I look down, I see these frozen little icicles, big giant ice cubes. And I said to the guy, I said, hey, what's this? He said, it's pieces of the glacier. Every day pieces of the glacier break off, floats away into the lake, and then they freeze. He goes, it's kind of sad because one day that glacier's not going to be there any longer. To me, that was the greatest explanation or metaphor of time that I had ever heard. Guys, your time here is finite. It is finite. Every day a piece of you breaks away and you can never get it back. Are you going to look back at the rest of your life at a list of things that you never did? Or are you going to look back at the rest of your life of a list of things that you lived? Don't have a bucket list, a list of things you never did. Have a lived list, a list of things that you lived. Time is finite. Live your life. Live your life, guys. You're in control. Don't let a boss, a smart relative, a highly intelligent broke friend prevent you from the things that you want. Next song, please. This is Cairo, Egypt. Who's never been to Cairo before? Wants to go? Who wants to go? It's a blessing. 5,000 years old. One of the only 2 things you can see from outer space. So we pulled up to 3 main pyramids. I said, man, I'd love to climb this. No, sir, that's highly illegal. Yeah, I know. I just really would love to climb it. No, sir, that's impossible. All the police here, it's absolutely impossible. I know, but I would really, really, really love to climb it. He looks to the left, looks to the right, he goes, I am the Michael Jackson of tour guides. Okay. $500. $500 later, I am on the top of the oldest man-made structure in the world. 100 meters high. You gotta create your life. Enya, you just had it. It was before we started. Gladiator. Let's go for it. Arc de Triomphe, Paris, France. Walking down the street. Watching the sun as it's starting to set. You're watching it come across. I'm like, this is going to be a really interesting sunset. Like a really, really interesting sunset. You can see right here, there's 4 or 5 lanes of traffic here, 4 or 5 lanes of traffic here. I run out into the middle of the 4 to 5 lanes on each side. People honking the horn, people screaming really beautiful language of French, I'm sure not so beautiful words, waving not many fingers at me. I didn't care. I didn't care what they were saying. I didn't care what they were thinking. I didn't care about the noise. I didn't care about the traffic. It didn't matter to me what anyone else thought at that moment. It didn't matter to me what anyone else was thinking at that moment. The reason why is because I knew there are only so many times in this life, there are only so many times in this life that you're going to get a chance. That's a chance of a lifetime. And when you get a chance, that's a chance of a lifetime to take the shot, you better step up, you better block out what anyone else thinks, you better block out what anyone else says, and you better go out there and you better take the shot. Guys, this is your shot. Right now, this is your shot. How many of you guys will take your shot right now? Who will take your shot with myself? Who will take your shot? Who will take your shot? You need to own a piece of this company. You can own a piece of this company. You will own a piece of this company. But you gotta step up and take your shot. Guys, I know you can do it. We believe in you. We believe in you. We believe in you. You gotta believe in yourself. Go for it. Don't let anybody get in your way. And don't let anybody stop you. Take your shot. I will see you in Kansas City. You guys can do this. 2,000 families into equity. You get to be one of them. Thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate it.